So, Ava, we're talking about affirmations today, the whole I am worthy, I am successful kind of thing. Honestly, I've dabbled with them, but I'm still a bit skeptical. Do you really think they work?
Absolutely, Andrew. I think the biggest thing people misunderstand is that affirmations aren't about magically manifesting a new Ferrari. It's about shifting your subconscious mind. Think of it like training a muscle. You have to repeatedly tell yourself something to build a new neural pathway.
Okay, that makes a little more sense. So, it's more about building a positive self-image over time, rather than like a quick fix. I always felt a little silly saying them out loud, to be honest.
Totally. And it's about framing them in a way that feels genuine to you. If you're saying I am wealthy when you're struggling to pay bills, it's just going to feel forced. Start with smaller things, like I am capable of handling this challenge or I am grateful for the opportunities in my life.
That's a really good point. It's about personalization. I tried saying I'm successful and it just felt empty. I need to be more specific. What about the science behind it? I've heard some people say there's no actual evidence.
There is research. Studies have shown that repetitive affirmations can actually change your brain activity, reducing activity in the areas associated with negative self-talk. It's neuroplasticity in action. Plus, consistently thinking positively does tend to lead to positive behaviors.
Wow, okay, that's actually pretty fascinating. So if I'm struggling with imposter syndrome, for example, saying I'm a brilliant and capable person, does that help? Or is it too broad?
It could be a starting point, but build it out. Instead of just I am brilliant, maybe I am learning and growing every day and I embrace challenges as opportunities to develop my skills. Breaking it down makes it more believable. It's about focusing on the process of becoming.
Makes sense. I'm still picturing myself saying it to a mirror. Are there different types of affirmations? Like, are there affirmation techniques besides just repeating them?
Definitely. Visualization is huge. As you're saying your affirmation, really see yourself experiencing the positive outcome. Another one is gratitude journaling. Focusing on what you have is a powerful way to build a positive mindset.
Okay, so visualize and affirm. That sounds almost like a mini meditation. I tried meditation before, but I always struggle to stay focused.
It can be, but affirmations can be a great entry point. And don't feel like you have to do it perfectly every time. Consistency is key, even if it's just 5 minutes a day. Little and often.
Right, that's important. I think the biggest hurdle for me is just overcoming the feeling that I'm being fake. Like, I'm trying to force something that isn't genuine.
That's where the personalization comes back in. You're not trying to become someone you're not. You're simply cultivating a more positive dialogue within yourself. It's about rewriting the internal story.
So instead of saying I am rich, it's about focusing on gratitude for what I do have, and then maybe affirming a desire for financial security. Is that a better approach?
Absolutely. A much more sustainable and believable approach. Think about what you truly value and align your affirmations with those values. It's about shifting your focus to what you want, not just stating a desire.
This is actually making a lot more sense than I initially thought. I think I was approaching it as some kind of magical incantation. I'm glad we talked about the personal aspect of it.
It's a tool, Andrew. Like any tool, it's most effective when used correctly and with intention. And it's okay to experiment and find what works best for you.
Well, Ava, you've completely changed my perspective. I'm going to give this a serious try, focusing on gratitude and building affirmations that actually feel authentic. Thanks for shedding some light on this.
Yeah, idag.
I mean, have you ever noticed how sometimes you'll repeat something to yourself over and over in your head, like I can do this or I'm worthy of love? It's almost like it becomes a mantra.
Exactly. And I've found that when I'm feeling anxious or stressed, saying those kinds of phrases out loud actually helped calm me down. But what about the science behind it? Do affirmations really change our brain chemistry?
Well, research suggests that repeating positive statements can rewire your brain by strengthening connections between neurons and weakening negative ones. It's like a mental exercise that shapes your thoughts and behaviors.
That makes sense. I've also heard that affirmations can be super effective when combined with visualization techniques. Have you ever tried that?
Oh, totally. When you visualize yourself achieving something or overcoming an obstacle, it can create a powerful psychological response in your brain. It's like your subconscious mind is saying, hey, this actually might happen.
Exactly. And I've noticed that affirmations can be really helpful when they're specific and personal to what you want to achieve. Like, instead of just saying I'm confident, try I'm confident in my public speaking skills.
Absolutely. Specificity is key. And it's also important to remember that affirmations aren't a magic fix-all solution. They take practice and patience to see results.
That's true. I've noticed that when I first start using affirmations, they can feel really cheesy or forced. But over time, they become second nature, and I find myself thinking them without even realizing it.
Huh.
Yeah, that's the mark of a successful affirmation, when you're not even aware you're repeating them anymore.
So, what do you think is the most important thing to keep in mind when using affirmations?
For me, it's all about consistency and persistence. Find an affirmation routine that works for you and stick with it, even when it feels uncomfortable or difficult.
That makes sense. And what about negative affirmations? Do they work too?
Actually, yes. Negative affirmations can be really powerful tools for releasing patterns of self-doubt or negativity. But it's all about framing them in a way that's empowering and freeing, rather than just perpetuating more negative thinking.
That's a great point. I've definitely tried using some negative affirmations to rewire my mindset around certain habits or behaviors. And I have to say, they seem to be working.
See?
It's all about finding what works for you and experimenting until you find the right combination of techniques that resonate with your mind and heart.
Well, I think we could go on this conversation forever. But one last thing. Do you think affirmations can be a tool for personal growth, or are they more of a self-care practice?
Oh, I definitely think they're both. Affirmations can be a powerful tool for personal growth when used in conjunction with other practices like meditation, journaling, and seeking out new experiences. But at the same time, they can also be a simple yet effective way to show yourself some love and kindness when you need it most.
I couldn't agree more. Thanks for sharing your insights on affirmations. I feel totally inspired to start using them in my own life.
No problem. It was a blast chatting with you about this topic.